I'm the president of Freedom Alliance, and we are a charitable organization trying to help military families and wounded veterans, and what you're here witnessing today is a part of what we do. Real quick, after 20 years of war, many of our veterans are coming home with emotional injuries, physical injuries, and we are doing our best to care for them. We give all-terrain wheelchairs, and we do a lot of recreational trips to get small groups of veterans together, put them in an environment where they can trust one another, work with one another, converse with one another, and rehab with one another. And so we do trips all over the country, and it is very special to see them helping each other out through these very difficult times. We also have a scholarship program for the sons and daughters of American heroes. These are kids who've had a parent who was killed or permanently disabled in the service of our nation. Since September 11th, 2001, we have provided over $25 million in scholarships for kids who have lost a parent or had a parent wounded in military service. We are also doing a variety of projects, such as home repairs for wounded veterans, get a new house, a wheelchair ramp, new windows, things of that nature. We have provided over 50 vehicles to military families who need reliable transportation to get back and forth to their rehab appointments and to be able to get to work and carry out their daily activities. And today marks the 21st time that we will give a mortgage-free home to a military family. We are a small charitable organization. The record of accomplishment that I just mentioned, much of it, a great deal of it, today's activities and the vehicles and the home repairs, is done with an outstanding partner that we could not ask for a better partner in corporate America, and that is U.S. Bank. They are always with us. They provide the resources, the muscle, the volunteers, the committed personnel to come out to these events to make it possible, and we are just thrilled not only to have U.S. Bank, but to be in a community that has a builder and a developer who is committed to excellence, committed to our veterans, and that is HDI. Our partners at U.S. Bank, it has been 10 years now that we have been working with them, and we've done these kinds of things all over the country, and I am very pleased and proud to have developed so many friendships through this partnership, and one of them is with our next speaker, who is key, who is instrumental to this process, because he's the one who reaches out into the community of Maryville and says, we need the best developer there is, we need the best builder, we need the best quality home, because we're putting in it an amazing American family that has served and sacrificed, so we want nothing less than the best. And that person who puts his heart and soul into this is, he's known as Builder Tony Cardoza.
It's always hard to follow Tom, because everything I say is pretty much inconsequential after he speaks, it seems like. Good morning, Maryville. Our veterans and their service members gave everything for our collective freedoms. I want to be one of the first today to say thank you to all of you that are here, that are currently serving, or that had served, and gave us the ability to enjoy the freedoms we have every single day. On behalf of the 2,000 employees in the great state of Tennessee, we want to say thank you to retired Staff Sergeant Jeremy Taylor and his wife Tamia for their sacrifice and their service. At U.S. Bank, we believe in giving back in the communities where we live and work. It's one way we put people first. Our Community Possible program is focused on the areas of work, play, and home. Home being that true foundation in any community. And that's what we're here to do today, is provide a home to Jeremy and to Tamia. We really hope that the Taylor family can enjoy many memories and build an amazing life here in this great home. We wouldn't be here today without the wonderful and skilled partners from Freedom Alliance. Tom and his entire team are truly what make this possible. It's the glue that holds us all together in doing these donations. So I definitely need to thank Tom and the entire team. I want to thank all the family members, neighbors, community partners, city officials, and other elected officials that are with us here today to help us celebrate Jeremy and his family. This new home that we are presenting wouldn't be possible without an amazing builder and developer. This home was constructed by HDI. They are a local East Tennessee builder that everybody here should be proud of and what they did for this home for the Taylor family today. I know that by walking through this home, I got goosebumps, and I think much like you will as you tour the home after the Taylors get the chance to see it for themselves. It just wouldn't be possible without Adam and his team. So I want to take a second and bring up Adam Walls from HDI to share a few words. Adam?
Thank you, Tony, for your kind words and for you and U.S. Bank's commitment to our community, our veterans, and for letting HDI be a part of this great day. It is true that when Pat Walton from U.S. Bank mentioned to me that there was a chance that this initiative may be in need of a builder to partner with in East Tennessee, I did say that I'd tackle the other builder who he had mentioned to get to participate. HDI is not yet 3 years old, and this morning marks a dream come true for me and my co-founder, Tracy Daugherty, who dreamt with me that someday we'd build a company that could support veterans and first responders in a meaningful way. That dream is now also shared by all of our employees, all of whom are here right now. We only have 17 of us, who all share our commitment to thanking and supporting those who have served in harm's way on our behalf. It's a value that is very important to the culture of HDI, its employees, and to U.S. Bank, Freedom Alliance, and especially to the Taylor family. HDI truly thanks you for our opportunity to be here today. HDI stands for Home Development, Inc., and I know that sounds awfully uninspired for a home builder and real estate developer, but the word home doesn't just mean a house made of sticks and bricks to us. It's where birthday parties happen, kids learn to ride bikes and tie their shoes, where pictures are taken on the front porch on the first day of school, and where friends meet on the back deck. Putting the word home into our company was actually inspired by a song after my wife and I heard Drew Holcomb sing his song, Feels Like Home, literally sitting on the banks of the Tennessee River. It goes, like a Tennessee river in the morning takes your breath without a warning, like smoke rising up from the mountains, all the beauty surrounding, like Elvis and Dolly singing a melody that's bringing you home, feels like home. My wife and I heard those lyrics right after returning home to East Tennessee, where we grew up, after being away for 22 years. And now we get to see the Tennessee River every morning and the Smoky Mountains every day, thanks to living in the most beautiful county in Tennessee, this one right here. We knew that the word home had to be incorporated into the name of the company we were working on launching, but what we didn't know was that less than 3 years later, Home Development, Inc. would be partnering with an initiative called HOME, Housing Opportunities After Military Engagement, to hand over the keys to a home in my home state of Tennessee and also my hometown of Blount County. So we're fortunate to tell the Taylor family and all the neighbors of the community that are here today that we're not just your builder, we're your neighbors and your friends. I believe that Tracy is going to say some words later about our vendors who stepped up, so I don't want to steal his thunder, but I will overuse the word one more time and say to the Taylor family, welcome home. I'm going to hand it back over to Tom.
For bringing it home. We love it. This is a big day, and as I said earlier, this community has been so inspiring, so helpful and hospitable. It is a testament to the people who are here that there are so many flags flying from the homes, that there is such a spirit of charity and giving, and we want to recognize that and just give the mayor of your great city an opportunity to speak. Your Honor, where are you? Come on up.
So Is this one on, or do you want me to just use this one? First of all, a public service announcement. 104 Thomas Drive's in Alcoa. I don't know if anybody else experienced that, but I just did. So I punched in my GPS this morning that I rely on, and I pulled up to a home in Alcoa, and nobody was there. So yeah. So I apologize for being late. I was driving through Alcoa this morning, so bear with me here. So good morning. My name is Andy White. I'm the mayor of Maryville, Tennessee. I would like to thank, first of all, Kate Braun and the folks at U.S. Bank for inviting me to this exciting event. I've got to admit, I was not familiar with this program when asked to speak. However, as I learned more about the program, I was more than happy to attend. Anytime we have an opportunity to help our veterans, especially the ones who have put themselves in harm's way to defend us, I think we should seize that opportunity. Jeremy Taylor and his wife Tamia have done just that. They have both fought to defend the freedoms that we enjoy here in America. Unfortunately, that often comes with a price. I think it's important for us as a community to show our support and respect to Jeremy and Tamia and all those who have served. I would also like to thank Freedom Alliance for all that they do to help support our veterans every day. There is a line on their website that says the greatest cost of war is its impact on the individual service member. Thank you for all of you that do these, for all that you do for these service members once they return home. I would also like to thank Jeremy and Tamia for your service to our country and say welcome to our community and welcome to your new home. May God bless you and your family as you create many great memories in this great new home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Are you ready to meet our guests of honor? They have been listening just around the corner. And what direction are they coming from? This way? Over there. They're going to be escorted by the Blount County Sheriff's Department. And they're going to be greeted at the red carpet there at the end of the driveway by a team from U.S. Bank. You say hello to them to be the first to welcome them to their new home. They're also going to be greeted by a special family friend, somebody who has served our country with honor and distinction over a long period of time, Brigadier General Scott Brower. Thank you for being here, sir. Family friend of Tamia and Jeremy. Here they come, folks. Let's let them know they're welcome here. Sheriff's Department pulling up. Thank you, Blount County Sheriff's Department. Thin blue line brings our honored guests up to their new home. They have been driven here by an honored veteran, Pablo Cadena, First Sergeant Pablo Cadena. Is their driver. Jeremy, Tamia Taylor, welcome to your new home. U.S. Bank, HDI, friends and neighbors, City of Maryville, please welcome Jeremy and Tamia Taylor. How you feeling? Good, pretty good. All right. Well, it's great to have you here, and let me tell you a little bit about them, because this is a very special couple, both of whom have served. And I want to tell you about Jeremy and his service, and Tamia has served as well. And we begin at a young age, where Jeremy and Tamia actually met when they were each about 6 years old. It was friendship at first sight. And over the years, they playmates, and they played together, and they grew up together, and they went to school together. And at some point, it blossomed into a romance. And they have now been married for 17 years, and they have their first daughter, Delilah. And in that time, they've been through a lot. Jeremy, I'm going to stand over here next to Jeremy, because I'm going to talk about him a lot. And I really admire him and I think you will too when you hear his story. Jeremy had a difficult childhood. He had a lot of challenges in his life as a young man. But he overcame them, and he continued to throughout his education process, throughout his military service, and even now in his rehabilitation. He is somebody who was in high school on September 11, 2001, when those attacks took place. He remembers being in homeroom, and he remembers that the TVs were wheeled into the classroom. They saw the attacks. It was, that's a difficult thing for teenagers to process, but he knew it was something big. He knew it was something important. And he felt an urge and a calling to do something about it, but he was only about 15 years old. And he also had these other challenges in life. Jeremy had to actually take a high school proficiency exam and graduate high school early so that he could leave and go to work full time, because he was in a position where he needed to take care of himself. He needed to provide for himself. And I think that's one of the earliest times in his life when he showed this kind of leadership and self-help, where he really stepped up at a time when it was needed. And so he did that, and he was providing. But this idea of the attacks of 9/11 and doing something about it kept playing in his mind. He also had this sense of adventure, and he wanted what many service members want in their life, and that is a sense of purpose, a big meaning, to do something important. And that's what Jeremy wanted to do. And he just couldn't take it anymore. So at the age of 17, he got his parents' permission, and he went to the recruiter, and he enlisted. And he raised his right hand, and he took an oath to a document called the Constitution of the United States to protect us against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And he has lived up to that oath and honored that oath throughout his career. So he enlisted at age 17 in April of 2004. Now, at 17 years old, think about this. He's putting himself into the United States Army at a time when the war in Afghanistan has been going on now for about 3 years, when the war in Iraq had just started a year before. He's not thinking, I'm going to learn a skill. He knows that if he signs that paper, he's probably going to war. He's probably going to face down the enemy. And he did it anyway at age 17. He went to Fort Benning and did his basic. He went up to Fort Drum. He became part of the storied 10th Mountain Division. And he did about 2 years of training at Fort Drum and then was deployed to Afghanistan. He went to an area of Afghanistan called the Paktika Province. It's on the eastern side of Afghanistan. It's a mountainous region. It borders Pakistan. And he goes over there with his team, and they set up shop, and they undertake an operation called Operation Mountain Lion. And at this point in the war, the Taliban had been largely driven out of Afghanistan, but they were starting to make inroads back in, and they were starting to do so through that region where Jeremy was deployed, along that border with Pakistan. So their job was to stop the Taliban from coming back in, getting a stronghold. It was part counterinsurgency, it was part humanitarian. They went into the province, they worked with the locals, they did a great deal of humanitarian work. They built bridges and schools and roads and repaired roads and made relationships with the locals and befriended them, and all the while preventing the Taliban from coming back in. But at the same time, there were also insurgents in that area that needed to be pulled out and taken away. So while doing all of this, as you can imagine, there was resistance from those insurgents and the Taliban, and firefights came up. And so there was a lot of kinetic action taking place. Jeremy estimates that during his time in Afghanistan, he was involved in roughly 40 firefights. Some of those lasted 10 minutes. Some of those lasted upwards of 9-10 hours. And they took all kinds of different forms. During his time there, Jeremy would pull guard duty in the tower on the base to make sure nobody came through. He was part of a QRF, which is a quick reaction force, which is a team that goes at lightning speed out when called to rescue those or provide support to other units. And on some of those occasions, when he had to go out off the base into the field, they might be out for upwards of 2 weeks at a time before they were able to come back. And they got involved in a lot of spats. One of those, Jeremy was hit with an RPG and took a blast to the head. It caused a traumatic brain injury. In another one, he was in a vehicle that was hit, or excuse me, in this one, they were driving along a road where it became a steep incline, and they were about to roll off a cliff, and the vehicle was rolling, but before it did, Jeremy jumps out and saves himself. But in the process, he badly injured his back, he broke his ankle, and he had to keep fighting. In another one, they came under fire. They were on a dismounted patrol. They were walking through the village, and they come under fire, and he takes cover on a tree, and that tree was hit by an RPG, and he takes another blast to the head. And there were a lot of occasions like this. That broken ankle that he got, in each case, he goes right back into the fight. He might be knocked unconscious for a minute or two, but he collects himself and goes right back out and continues fighting the enemy. The broken ankle, he continued to fight while he had that. He didn't even know about it until he got back home. And so all of this goes on for the 1 year that Jeremy was deployed to Afghanistan. And when his time was up to go back home, on the day he was preparing to head back here to the United States, he gets a notification that says, "Don't board the plane just yet, young man, because your stay here in Afghanistan is being extended for another 6 months." His 1 year deployment turns into 18 months. In his official paperwork, it explains that this was done, I love this was done for the convenience of the government. Because nobody wants to inconvenience Uncle Sam, right? So Jeremy stays another 6 months in Afghanistan. He continues to fight, continues to take fire, and he continues to lead his troops. Jeremy was Sergeant First Class. He was an NCO. His troops loved him because he provided leadership, and he was responsible, and he protected them. And that's what a leader does. And when that tour was finally over after 18 months, he comes back home. He goes back to California where he grew up. He was based at Fort Irwin. The Army tells him they'd like him to do some recruiting duty, which he did, and he did well. But as is the case with many veterans, those physical injuries start to hurt a little bit more when you're not in that active day-to-day battle situation. The emotional injuries begin to take hold, and that's when Jeremy was feeling it, and he decided that it was probably about time that he called his military career to an end, and he got out of the military. At this point, both Jerry and Tamia were married, and Tamia is taking care of him, but she also had long-held aspirations to be in the military. When she was in high school, she was the captain of the tennis team. She was very good at academics. She wanted to go on and study more, and she thought that joining the Army would be a good way to do that and get those education benefits. And so at the age of 25, Tamia joins the Army. And she was also deployed. And she was deployed to Afghanistan. She was in Kabul, and she was in a place where she regularly took fire. About at least once a week, the base was getting shelled or fired at in some way, and she was there protecting her troops and doing her job and doing it well. So both Jeremy and Tamia have served our country with honor and distinction and have really shown themselves to be leaders. They tell us that it is a great honor for them to have served, and they enjoyed it very much. They said they never did it because they expected something like today. They never did it for the rewards. They did it for a sense of purpose. They did it because they felt their country needed them, and they wanted to serve. And so that is what makes them leaders. The injuries that Jeremy sustained is what brings us here today, and we are proud and honored to stand with you, Jeremy and Tamia, and on behalf of U.S. Bank and HDI, to give you this mortgage-free home in this beautiful community. But before we give you the keys, we've got a few more people who want to say a few words to you. Kellen.
Hi. We got to meet last night, and I love you all, but the baby might be my favorite. Kalila is the cutest baby I've ever seen. So, hi, my name is Kellen Bergman. I lead branches for U.S. Bank in Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Carolina, but I call Knoxville my home. And so we actually have a little bit in common because I live here because of the bank and relocated here when I had a 3-month-old. So just a little behind you. But I say that because it's an amazing place to live and raise a family, and I couldn't be more excited for you all to get to do that here. But I also, so when I moved out here with U.S. Bank, it was 12 years ago to open the market here. And so I owe U.S. Bank to get to live here, so eternally grateful to work for this company. But we opened branches here 12 years ago, so we are a relatively new, somewhat unknown bank in this community. And so I think it's really important to share that a little bit about U.S. Bank overall, because a lot of you may not be familiar with who we are and what we stand for. So we may be 12-year-olds here, but U.S. Bank has over 150-year legacy of giving back to their communities in which we live and work. And I know Tony talked about it a little bit before, but just here in Tennessee alone, we have over $2 million in corporate givings that we have given back. And even more important than I think the money, over 36,000 hours of volunteer time. Those are all of our employees just giving back to the community organizations that they love and hold dear to their heart. And so to say that we are passionate about giving back is probably an understatement, and very, very proud of all the work we do that culminates in an event like today, right? So as far as military, we have been nationally recognized on our military efforts. Hiring, we have, I was looking out, I see a lot of military employees here today, so I will thank those as well as all military members and veterans who are here today. Our partnership with Freedom Alliance makes what we do possible. So this organization is incredible, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank them for what they do. I've gotten to learn more about it through this. I know, I'm almost done, I promise. Freedom Alliance is amazing. So Tom mentioned it, we've partnered with them. U.S. Bank has given away 76 cars to veterans. This is our 28th home that we've done, totaling over $7 million in homes that we have given away. So just, it's an incredible company to get to work for. This is a great day for me that I get to be a part of this, but just really want to represent the bank by saying thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. It is an honor to get to give you this home and get to be a part of it. And with that being said, I'm actually going to hand it over to one of the military employees that I mentioned, a coworker here in Tennessee. Danielle Waller is a funding supervisor and a National Guard member, and she is going to take it over from here.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. It is such an honor to be here today. Thank you guys so much for everything that you've done for this country. I really admire you guys. All right. So, here at US Bank, we have an employee-led, business-led resource group called Proud to Serve. This opportunity provides many things for the employees to connect with other veterans and other military supporters. At US Bank, we're committed to our active military duty employees and our veterans. We employ over 2,000 veterans, and we are actively hiring more. We are proud to be nationally recognized as one of America's top corporate supporters for the veterans and their families. Our support can be seen through military-specific banking products and services through our Proud to Serve program. Now, I'm sure most of you know about the challenge coins. There's a little history to them. They date back all the way down to World War I. It is typically a small coin that bears the organization's crest or emblem. Historically, challenge coins are presented by the unit's command in recognition of special achievement by members of the unit and also proving membership and boosting morale. There are some little rules that go along with the challenge coins. Challenge coins should be carried at all times with that member. And if you're found to be without it, you owe me a drink, okay? I will be checking. All right, then finally it is passed from one palm to the next in the form of a handshake. Today we are proud to present U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Jeremy Taylor and his wife a challenge coin from the Proud to Serve community. Sorry. You're very welcome. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to hand it back over to Tom.
Thank you, Danielle. And so, the moment you've been waiting for, the moment you've been waiting for, is when we present you the key. So we can have our key presenting party coming up. Robin Donovan, Rita Scott, who is on our board of directors at Freedom Alliance. Rita, come on up. Tony. Your Honor, you want to get in this, please? Honored veterans, Jeremy and Tamia, on behalf of U.S. Bank and HDI and Freedom Alliance, we are proud and honored to present to you a mortgage-free home in the beautiful city of Maryville, in a great community with outstanding neighbors who have vowed to cut your grass and sweep your driveway and take out your trash for you. So we wish you that this home will be a place of health and happiness and honor and memories and love and laughter. God bless you. Thank you.
I'd just like to say, like Tom said earlier, we never did any of this expecting anything back, but I'd like to thank especially U.S. Bank, HDI, and Freedom Alliance for what they do for veterans. Not only me, but all these veterans that they've reached out to and helped. Not just through words, but through their actions, as you can clearly see. And yeah, and thanks everybody who's been involved in this. I hope I have a chance to shake your hand before you leave. We really do appreciate this. Thank you.
We're really excited to make this our home, and we can see all the love and care and support. And well, we won't be able to always tell you how grateful we are. We're going to keep thanking you guys, and we're really excited to be part of this community. We're really excited to meet our neighbors and be part of a community for once. And so we're looking forward to everything, and we hope to see everyone around. Thank you.
Today, obviously, it's a day of celebration, and it's a day of enjoyment and welcoming to a new community. But this remembrance is punctuated with the memory of the end of the war in Afghanistan, America's longest war. It was a deadly war. As I said, both Jeremy and Tamia served in Afghanistan. They both lost friends and colleagues over there. And they asked me, can we just make sure that those who did not come home will be remembered in this ceremony? And as you all know, yesterday marked 3 years since the deadly bombing at Abbey Gate. And if you will indulge me for just one more moment, I'd like to pay tribute specifically to each of them. For those who are seated, would you please stand? And on behalf of all of those who gave their lives in Afghanistan and Iraq, we remember specifically those who gave their lives at the very end. There was 11 Marines, 1 corpsman, and 1 soldier. Sergeant Johanny Rosario Pichardo, Sergeant Nicole Gee, Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Corporal Dagan Page, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Lance Corporal David Espinosa, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui, Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak. And the last name is an honored son of the great state of Tennessee. Grew up in Corrington, Tennessee, not too far from here. And we remember Staff Sergeant Ryan Nouse. May their souls and all the souls of the faithfully departed, by the mercy of God, rest in peace. May we never have moments like that again, and may we always take care of our honored veterans and those who serve our country. God bless you all. Thanks for being here. We're going to take a brief pause while we let the media and our photographers go into the home to set up, and those who are going to greet the family for the first time walking in, please go ahead and make your way into the home. And then Jeremy and Tamia will go in for the first time, and everybody is invited to come in for refreshments. Thank you all for being here. God bless you.